Experiencias académicas, culturales y personales compartidos por estudiantes internacionales en el TEC de Monterrey.
I like that.
Welcome to the space in which students from all over the world share their exchange experiences with us. Una visión única de quienes llegan a nuestro país y la travesía de los que se van en busca de una experiencia global.
When I went there,
Esto es Global Connection con Carolina Alcántara. Iniciamos.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Connection. I'm Carolina Alcántara, an international programs advisor here at TEC de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey. And today we will explore the lives of exchange students at TEC de Monterrey. And in today's episode we have two special guests from Canada. And I'm going to introduce you to our guests from UBC studying to be teachers. We have Shariar Bashir.
Yep.
Welcome.
Me. Thank you for having me here.
And we have Taha Masood.
Hello, happy to be here.
I'm really glad you're here. It's just a little, side note is that I'm gonna be doing some small wrap-ups of what you said and what I'm saying because we're in national radio, so
Okay.
it's important to just make those summaries, okay? So
Sure.
I'm just gonna tell a little bit in Spanish.
Sure.
Hola y bienvenidos a Conexión Global, Global Connection. Hoy estamos con dos estudiantes que nos visitan desde Canadá y nos van a contar su experiencia estudiando para ser maestros en el programa de UBC. Tenemos a Shariar Bashir y a Taha Masood que nos van a hablar un poquito de su experiencia aquí en el Tecnológico de Monterrey en un programa distinto durante 3 semanas que han estado acá. Cómo ha sido México para ellos, qué les ha impactado, cómo es la vida en Canadá y muchas cosas más. Recuerden que el episodio de hoy va a ser en inglés, pero voy a hacer estas pequeñas intervenciones durante el programa para que puedan darse una idea de lo que estamos hablando en inglés. Al igual, si nos quieren sintonizar en el canal de YouTube, ahí pueden ver la transmisión y pueden poner subtítulos para que estén al tanto de lo que estamos hablando. Así que comenzamos. Están escuchando Global Connection aquí en Tech Sounds Radio.
Crónicas de un intercambio. La experiencia de vivir en México. Chronicles of an Exchange.
Well, welcome once again. I'm really happy to have you in the show. And it's exciting because today we're going to be talking now from a man perspective, because last episode we have Aiden and Zainab side of the story of what has been the program for them.
Yeah.
And now, like a more female perspective, now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I mean, they're first of all, they're better than us.
No, it's not a competition. But I will say, let's start a little bit about, who are you? What are you studying at UBC? And what led you to Mexico?
Okay, yeah. So, like you said, my name is Taha Masood, and originally from Montreal, Quebec. Born and raised there. A lot of my education was done there, and now in Vancouver. And at UBC, we are doing our teacher education program, which is an 11-month program, which you complete after an initial bachelor's program, where you specialize in the subjects you will be teaching in high school. So we completed that a couple years back, and now we are just about done this one. Just a few months left after we get back. And as a part of that teacher education program, we are asked to complete a few different practicums where we go into schools and different settings to get exposure and experience working in those settings and with different communities. So this here is one of those, the third of the 3 practicums that we complete, which they call the community field experience. So in that, we have the options to complete that locally or internationally, and we chose Mexico because we were, we like Mexico, and we were interested in seeing how the educational system works in different countries, especially, and we thought this would be a great opportunity to come down and to get that going, and it's been great, very eye-opening so far.
Yeah. I am Shariar. I'm also enrolled in the same program as my colleague just mentioned. I'm not going to repeat to bore the listeners. But my background is Pakistani. My parents moved to Canada in the 80s, and then ever since I lived there. And I'm in that small city next to Vancouver called Surrey. It's the most diverse city of the province, and then it has outgrown Vancouver city as per last year. And if you want food, Surrey is your place. If you want culture, Surrey is your place. And if you want to learn something, a new language, Surrey is your place. So Surrey is very Canada in general is very multicultural, but Surrey, to be precise, it's extremely multicultural. So you get to see all the variety of it. So since childhood, we have been exposed to different religions, different settings, different cultures. So we've always heard about Mexico. We've always tasted. I'm not sure they call themselves authentic Mexican cuisines back home, but we actually got to taste the real ones here, and we know that they're lying. So we never really, I never really had a chance. I mean, Cancun, sure, you can call it great experience in Mexico, but that's not the ultimate experience of Mexico. Monterrey kind of gave us the ultimate experience that we were looking for, and I guess hands down, it's been one of the best experiences so far. Yeah, and I'm happy to be here for now.
I'm gonna do the wrap up,
Sure.
really from what you just said. Bueno, pues Taja nos comentaba que él es de Quebec, pero ahorita está en Vancouver, y que el programa que llevan es un programa que es para prepararse para ser maestros en Canadá, para el programa de viniera siendo preparatoria. Y en el programa que llevan antes tuvieron que tener una licenciatura para lo que van a estudiar. Entonces ahorita están preparando para dar las clases de lo que les interesa. Ahorita les voy a preguntar también. Actually, I'm gonna make a little intervention while I'm speaking. What do you wanna teach?
Oh, for me, I'm specializing in English and social studies.
Social studies.
And in social studies, history.
History.
Yeah, these are my specialities.
Yeah, and for me, it's primarily math and English. But because of my background from Quebec, I have French as well on the side, not as an official teachable, but something I could do.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Y también ahorita les pregunté qué es lo que les gustaría enseñar, y me comentaba Sherry que él quiere enseñar ciencias sociales, en concreto historia y también inglés, y Taja me decía que él matemáticas e inglés, y como también tiene es que la palabra es background en inglés, pero sería como el historial de ser de Quebec, y allá hablan también el francés, entonces también eso podría ser algo que podría adaptar. Y pues en este programa tienen que tener lo que le llaman practicums, que son como experiencias donde van a ver cómo es la manera del aprendizaje en diferentes lugares. Y en este practicum decidieron venir a México para conocer cómo es el sistema educativo mexicano, y pues les llamó la atención la cultura, la gente, y pues acá andan. Algo que contaba Sherry es que la comida mexicana no es la misma. Lo que dicen que es cocina auténtica mexicana en Canadá, que les han mentido porque no es la misma, es muy diferente a lo que creían, ahora que ya probaron acá la auténtica comida mexicana. Y pues continuamos. So far, from your experience here in Mexico, what have you thought about? How's Mexico regarding education, or there's something that you would like to add regarding your experience that you want to pinpoint?
Okay. So far, I mean, like, there's so many great memories, great experiences here in Mexico. But one thing that, if I was to share in my briefing back home to the people or to the Canadians, would be the hospitality and the culture. I found that very, very, you guys set a bar too high. I mean, it'll be hard for the Canadians to match it. But I found that to be, is not just the people that we know, even those people that we don't know. I remember the first Sunday when we landed here and we got into Oxo, and we're trying to figure out what we need to buy. Like, the language barrier was there, and some of the students in the back, we asked, you guys speak English? They're from Tech Monterey here. And they said, yeah, of course, we can help you out. So they were translating, we were trying to purchase the same, and trying to purchase a package of the same. And then we're trying to pay in Canadian dollars, USD dollars. And then the guy's like, I don't take that. And then we're like, okay, our card's not working. the students are like, look, I'll pay for it, and you guys can pay me back. We're on the campus here, and we haven't even done name introductions yet. And we're like, okay. So I didn't feel comfortable taking the money from a student. I was like, you know what, we need to figure this stuff out. But yeah, so we're friends with that person now. His name is Felipe. And I have given him different names because I mean, for him, it's hard to pronounce my name. It's not an easy name, and then I find his name pretty challenging as well. But he printed me a little 3D product for my motorcycle. I'm big on that. So I was discussing with him as to I mean, let me know when I need to cut the story.
No, go ahead.
So I was discussing with him, like, I'm into motorcycles, and you know, I have a hard time lubing the chain, because every 1,000 kilometers, for those who ride motorcycles, sports motorcycles, they would know every 1,000 kilometers you have to kind of lube the chain. And I was like, it goes all over the place, it's too messy. So I found this product online, and it's only a 3D print file. So it's not an actual product, but the person is like, here's the 3D you know, file that's ready, and you can print it. And I started speaking to Felipe, and he's like, yeah, I'm in that department, and this is a project, 3D project that I printed. I'm gonna print this for you. And he printed that for me. So I'm excited to try that too when I get back. And I've been asking him, how much does it cost? Like, how much did he have to pay? He ignores that question, and then he has every single other conversation. So these are like this is just Sunday. I haven't got to Monday all the way the rest of the 3 weeks. So my experience is very, very different. I've visited, I think me and Taha, we both were counting how many countries we visited. We visited more than 16 or 17 countries. And then we had our fair share of experiences in different countries. But the most relaxed and the most peaceful and tranquil, and then the experience that we're actually, which is very authentic to us in terms of experiences, it's here.
Really?
Like, yeah, because wherever we went, we always had, you know, because we weren't going on official tours. It's like, I know a guy that knows a guy. I can go here, I can go there. You know, we're just doing individually or family trips or work trips. But this was something that we had to put work aside. We had to put everything aside and come here. And then we just wanted to be in the moment. So we're able to mix in with a lot of people, speak to a lot of people, learn about the culture, learn about the background, learn about the story. So we have become very close. Like residents, after 5 p.m., 6 p.m., everybody started to come down. Like, we're playing foosball, we're playing pool with like everyone is involved. Like yesterday was birthday party, and then it felt like we're throwing that birthday party. Like everyone is involved. Like it gets full. Like especially Friday nights, everyone is there enjoying and having a good time. And then we play with everyone. They all come, have food there, chill with us, relax. And another thing I picked up on, nobody actually, and this is coming from UBC, it's kind of hard to accept, unfortunately. Nobody, like, people leave their laptops and belongings and they'll be gone for hours. We're like, hey, Felipe, I messaged. I was like, all your stuff is here. I was like, you need to come and pick it up. He's like, don't worry about it. He came back after half a day and then he didn't care about the stuff. I was like, hey, how come you guys? It's like, no one steals anything here. You're good. You're good. And on the first day, I placed my cup there and I was like, okay, I need to take care of this. These guys are leaving the MacBooks and they're okay. So yeah, this experience is like very different. We haven't had this type of experience in any other country so far. Maybe you want to chime in? I'm talking.
Yeah, sure. No, you can keep talking. I'm okay with that.
I'm the talky guy.
So yeah, just to touch on you mentioned about us visiting different countries. So our background has always been in education, and we've been teaching for about almost 15 years now in private institutes and different sectors, and in that regard, we have been traveling to many countries just to study their educational systems. But like you said, it was never an official trip. It was just going and meeting people and through connections. And we have seen many systems in different countries, but it doesn't match to what we've been, what the exposure we've gotten over here. Right, because of the way how perfectly everything has been set up and how organized it's been here, we've seen, every different level of schools, whether it be primary, middle school, or high school, and in those we've had the chance to see the different degrees of schools. Those who are, very well off, IB schools, more elite schools, versus we even got exposure to those schools that struggle to meet their needs and have many different challenges. So in that, it's given us a whole new lens of what type of educational systems are out there, and through the discussions we were able to have with the teachers and the admin at those schools, we got first-hand reports as to how they deal with those and what sort of processes they have been going through, and as a whole how the school operates to be able to to produce results. So it's been something very, very enlightening for us, and it's just been something that we are definitely taking a lot back from here, and we're going to be using it in our future educational careers.
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna do a quick wrap up.
Good luck.
I know. So just a quick reminder. So you said two things about Mexico that you take: the warmth. It was the warmth.
Hospitality.
And
And then we haven't talked about the culture yet, but
you said hospitality
and culture.
And culture. Okay,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
wrap it.
Yeah.
Bueno, pues ahorita Sherry nos contaba que le impresiona mucho la hospitalidad que hay aquí en México. También de la cultura no hemos hablado mucho. Ahorita va a continuar hablando de este tema, pero nos comentaba que le impresiona cómo la gente aquí es pues muy dadivosa, o sea, sin esperar nada a cambio, que llegaron y tuvieron problemas para poder comprar un SIM en Oxxo y que unos estudiantes los empezaron a ayudar con el inglés, luego resulta que nada más traían dólares canadienses o dólares americanos y pues no aceptaban, entonces los estudiantes dijeron no hay problema, yo estoy aquí estudiando, tú luego me pagas, y dice que se sentía incómodo, que pues no entendía, o sea, no se le hacía raro, y pues al final se volvieron amigos, que él le gustan mucho las motocicletas, entonces se llama Felipe, el alumno, he's a student, right? Felipe is a student here? Third semester?
Yeah.
Perfect. Él es un alumno que está en tercer semestre aquí en el TEC, en la universidad estudiando, y resulta que pues él con lo que está estudiando pues podía imprimir un aditamento que necesitaba para poder poner la cadena que lleva la motocicleta. Él tenía, Sherry tenía ya los planos para hacer eso y lo ayudó y dice que le dijo que cuánto era y el chavo dice que siempre esquiva la pregunta y que pues, o sea, que le hablando otras cosas. Ya se han vuelto amigos, dicen que también igual en las residencias, que siempre parece que es una fiesta porque todo el mundo quiere convivir, comida, cumpleaños, que se ha vuelto algo muy, muy gratificante para ellos y que sienten que es un lugar de todos, de los, you say 16, right? Or 17, like 16, right? Or 17, 17, right? 17 countries, right?
Yeah. No, 17, yeah.
Alrededor de 17, han ido a 17 países y o sea, no oficialmente como este programa, han ido a ver cómo es el sistema educativo alrededor del mundo. Y pues dicen que también Taja comentaba que pues la organización aquí era algo que ayudaba mucho para ver cómo era el sistema educativo y que esto les ha aportado mucho para pues ver ese crecimiento y que hay en cada escuela, en cada método, y pues que es algo que se llevan con mucho cariño y muchas cosas nuevas aprendidas. Y pues continuamos, recuerden que también nos pueden sintonizar en YouTube, en Tech Sounds Radio, y en un momento volvemos con la siguiente sección. Están escuchando Global Connection aquí en Tech Sounds Radio.
A miles de kilómetros, descubriendo un mundo de posibilidades. Thousands of kilometers.
Bueno, pues regresamos con la siguiente sección, donde nos van a hablar un poquito más sobre su experiencia cultural, al igual que también qué puedes esperar si eres un alumno internacional que está yendo a Canadá. Y pues cuál sería tu experiencia en concreto en Vancouver. So I was telling them that we're now in this section. We changed section, but still we can come back to the culture thing.
Okay.
Because I think it's super interesting to say that. Also in this section, even though we were going to come back with the culture thing, you can also add things about your experience in Canada, like what will be the experience, for instance, for people that want to do an exchange over there. What would you recommend? And how is it different from the experience that you have so far here? But before that, and if you don't remember the question, let me know. I had a question when you were telling that you already were teachers, right? You have been teachers
Yes.
like years before.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to take this program if you were already teaching?
Okay, so me and Taha, we've been teaching in a religious setting, and these are the after-school programs. We currently run academy there, an institution. We have around 200 students, and we manage the staff. We do everything there, and then it was time for us to kind of jump into the public school because our next step as part of our journey is to start teaching and start establishing high school teachers there. So we come from minority background, and we want to be able to give back to our community and build a high school there. Currently, they don't have one in the entire province. And actually, if you compare British Columbia to the rest of the provinces, British Columbia is pretty behind on having a high school for the Muslim minorities there. So this is the goal that we're working towards. So in order for us to kind of establish that there, we have to be certified teachers. And then we are currently enrolled in Masters of Education Administration and Curriculum Design program at UBC as well. That's going to start for us in January. They were supposed to start in September. We postponed it to January because we want to do it online. So it's part of like our larger plan of building and establishing elementary school, high school, and hopefully at some point a college for the students there, so we can give back to the community in grand scheme of things.
That's so nice.
So teaching is all we know. Like that's all we know.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna really quickly say it in Spanish, okay?
Yeah.
Pues yo les pregunté ahorita que por qué decidieron inscribirse a un programa para enseñar, para aprender a ser maestros si ya eran maestros, porque eso nos comentaban hace rato que ellos ya son maestros, ya llevan muchos años siendo maestros. Y pues me comenta que ellos siempre han estado en un escenario de religión, o sea, de religioso, que son una minoría y que pues para regresar a la comunidad en la que están, no hay escuelas, no hay preparatoria, secundaria, primaria, y lo que deciden ellos ya tienen una escuela que están manejando, lo que quieren es establecerse, y para esto necesitaban ser certificados como maestros. Entonces es su proyecto de regresar a la comunidad, y a través de este programa es lo que están logrando hacer. También están en una maestría que van a tomar en línea para poder manejar este tipo de escuelas, y pues la idea es eso, que empiecen con la primaria, la secundaria, la preparatoria e inclusive en algún futuro con la universidad. Well, I think it's really beautiful what you're saying. It's super nice. Like when it comes to education, giving back and wanting others to grow, because I think that's what education does. Helps people grow.
Can I add something, Taha?
Yeah, I mean that's basically us, and like our like we said, our we've always been about education, and like even though both of us graduated high school over 20 years ago, there hasn't been a single year throughout there where we haven't been studying something or teaching at the same time.
Yeah.
Really?
And my wife is tired at this point.
Yeah. And we just felt that this was one sector that we haven't gotten into, and there was a major need for our community in that. So we felt that it's about time that we did that, and it's been going well. There's still a long road ahead before we are able to establish those institutes and schools, but it's something that we're going to work towards, and everything we've seen here is going to be a big part of what we do establish and how we do establish it, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of inspirations are drawn from here. You probably, we grilled them very hard with the questions, as you realized this morning. We're not easy, on the questions because we're curious and we're inquisitive. We want to learn, and then we ask questions for the sake of learning. And then I have 3 kids, and they started going to school, and they've seen their father in school settings. So they asked me, even the other day, yesterday, they're asking, so when are you actually graduating? I said, I'm not sure. I'm still in the master's program. So, so it has been a lifelong journey for us. And then we been connecting made an effort to connect ourselves with the people who are the best in the field and who educate people and then who bring change. And Mexico kind of gave us a lot of that.
Well, that's super nice, I think, because for me, as I had the opportunity to participate in certain visits that you did in the program, I think it's really nice to see the contrast and how education can be applied in every different scenario, and that everyone has a different purpose, but at the end, it's kind of also the same purpose, but
Yeah.
everyone has its own perspective
Yeah.
and different ways that you can connect with students.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, especially going through this experience again, like I'm 40 years old, so I'm going back and sitting with children who are 19, 20 years old, sitting with them in the classroom, having conversations with them, doing group projects with them. I'm reliving the moments that we kind of lived once, and then I enjoy these moments, right? So, but now when I interact with students and deal with the students, obviously we share the wisdom that we have gathered around the globe. We share that with them, so they kind of appreciate it, and we're pretty authentic and genuine when it comes to interacting with students and interacting with youngsters. So we're trying to build this gap. Somehow we call it a gap, right? Especially in Canada, there's a gap between the religious people and non-religious people. So we're trying to build that gap as to education is one common ground where religious people and non-religious people can kind of come together and work together towards a prosperous society, right? We need doctors, we need engineers, we need everything. So we're trying to fill that gap. We're trying to build that bridge. We're living it. We are those people. You'll see us active in our mosque, and you'll see us active in the community and in the school setting. We're active everywhere. We wear many hats. Like a lot of hats, but we're living the best. I can't say that I'm not. We're living the best. We get tired, we get fatigued. Sometimes the children don't get the time that they should get, but hopefully I'm going to work on that a bit better when I get back. But we're living the best moments of our life working with people. Whether we are able to achieve our goal or not, as always, me and Taha, we always laugh about this, whether we're able to build a school or not, but we enjoy the process and we're enjoying the process.
That's the
We're
most
loving it.
important thing.
Yeah.
Bueno, pues nos comenta que ellos están disfrutando el proceso, que no saben si al final van a poder lograr lo que quieren lograr con este tipo de aprendizajes que están teniendo, pero que es algo que realmente los está pues inspirando mucho, que se llevan muchas enseñanzas de el proceso que tuvieron aquí. Durante 3 semanas estuvieron asistiendo a diferentes escuelas preparatoria, secundaria, donde vieron cómo es el sistema educativo mexicano y cómo se aplica en el sector público y privado. Entonces esto les ha dado diferentes perspectivas para poder ver cómo poder realizar su práctica diaria como maestros y cómo establecerse. Allá en la comunidad a veces llega a haber estar separado mucho la comunidad educativa de la religión, y ellos quieren ver cómo fusionar esto y que sea algo que sea para el crecimiento también de la comunidad, y que tengan un lugar todos para estar no nada más activos en los centros religiosos, sino también en el aspecto educativo. Recuerden, vamos a un corte comercial, pero están escuchando Global Connection. No se vayan porque en un momento más volvemos. Y pues también nos pueden seguir aprovechando antes del corte comercial. Síganos en nuestras redes sociales como Study in MTY para que vean un poquito de los demás programas que tenemos. Donde en Instagram van a ver, hay algunos videos donde se promociona cada programa, y también un link donde pueden ver los demás programas de Tech Sounds Radio que hemos tenido las grabaciones. Pues bueno, sin más por el momento, regresamos.
El desafío, la integración cultural, the challenge.
Estamos hablando, para los que nos están sintonizando apenas, estamos hablando con Sheria y Taha, que son alumnos de la Universidad de British Columbia en Canadá, en Vancouver. y nos están contando un poquito más sobre su experiencia en el programa de CF, de Community Field Experience que tienen aquí en el Tecnológico de Monterrey. So continuing with the, let's say, we're gonna talk also about the perspective now. It's like the challenges that you have encountered. If you want, we didn't even talk in the last part about like the perspective, but I think on the other show can also like they already have the idea, but I think it's nice also the perspective you're pulling. So sometimes there's no necessity to comply exactly with what this you know the script tells.
We were always the trend breakers. That's fine.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
So in this section, often it's about things that you find challenging when coming to Mexico, maybe, and how you overcome to that. So I think you have interesting stories related to that.
Well, I guess we would agree that the biggest challenge has been the language, for sure. We're not used to being in settings where we don't know the languages. We both speak multiple languages, and that's helped us in many countries, but we don't speak Spanish yet. And
Baha speaks around 6 languages. I
Really?
speak around 5 languages.
Which languages do you speak?
So English, French, Urdu, Punjabi, and Arabic.
Wow.
And then he has the same,
The
but
same.
instead of French, you have
I got Hindko.
Hindko.
That's the dialect.
Wow.
That's spoken in northern Pakistan.
Wow.
We have pretty much the globe covered.
Uh-huh.
But you know, I was just thinking. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna cut
No,
you off.
Go ahead.
In Urdu, there's a saying like "Chirag ke niche andhera hota hai," like there's always darkness under the lantern. So me and Taha were thinking like we traveled around the globe, but we never visited the south. I mean, we've been to states, right? States is like we have tremendous amount of experience in education settings of the states as well, east side, west side, midwest, everywhere. But this is our first time coming to learning about education, and I was like, why did we come here? Like, Tech is a pretty established university, so we've been looking across the pond, but we never looked on the same side of the pond. So that's our next mission would be to kind of go into different countries. Chile was next on the list.
Wow.
We want to visit that as well, and then see what we can learn from there. So yeah, go back to the challenges. So language is the big challenge, especially for me. Taha's very good with languages. He picks them up very quickly. I only learn a language when I live with people, so I picked up a lot while I'm here. So yeah, that has been our challenge here.
Yeah.
This is the first time.
Yeah. And we're lucky one of our colleagues, Aideen, speaks Spanish, right? So
Yeah.
that's made things a lot easier for us. But it's something where we've been struggling with, but it really shows you the value of culture and different getting to know different backgrounds, different languages, and the richness that it comes with, and how much further you can expand your reach through exposure to different cultures and their languages and everything like that. So it's been a good lesson for us in that. So hopefully when we get back, we get busy in learning Spanish and then moving on to the next one.
That's
after
next
that.
on the list.
Yeah,
for sure.
And one other, I don't know if I would say it's a challenge, but something that just because of the way the media, without naming any specific countries, portrays Mexico, we weren't
Mostly
really
it's
sure.
between America and between Canada and Mexico.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's
might be
not
north
that.
of Mexico,
Yeah.
south of Canada, but you don't know.
South
You
of
never
ours
know.
and north of theirs. Yeah, okay.
We weren't really sure what to expect.
Yeah.
We thought maybe everything's gonna be very rural and the stuff won't be established, and we don't know what we're gonna be thrown into. But it's been a big wake up call that we need to get rid of those biases that exist. And because many of the institutes and places that we saw were like, hey, this is better than what we have back home,
Yeah.
And they're so far ahead, and they're creating they have such results and such great impacts that we didn't imagine that could be there. And that just it opened our eyes to how many additional countries and cultures we need to get into to see how they're operating and what they have, because we've gained so much from here. and there's I think 33 countries in the world,
Yeah.
right? So there's a whole ocean of things to get, and we're trying to gain as much as we can. So when we do establish our institutes, we're able to implement the best policies, just to ensure at the end the goal is always to create the best environment and the most productive learning experience for the students, right? So we're taking whatever we can, and we hopefully do plan to implement it and use it in the future.
Oh yeah. This will be like a very we're going to be building a lot of connections. We have not that you guys should know, but we've been because some of the principals and admins that I came across here, I complimented them. I told them we've been around the globe, but the way you're conducting your school, running your school is just awesome. The way you're holding and setting the bar is just, and this is both in your private and public. Admins are great, especially this public school that we went to. I asked them this question. I was like, "You're public, right? You're like funded by the government, and all of you guys are pouring your heart out, with the students, and just that's one of the top schools for me in terms of the visit, because budget is a problem. Budget is a challenge. Getting things approved in the government. You're answerable to a lot of people. There's a lot of red tape, so there's a lot of bureaucracy that you're going through. So that all that struggle, I understand the nuances of it. So, but they're still able to become like the number one school in Mexico here, and they're competing. They'll get the results back, I believe, in September sometime.
Yeah, soon.
And they're competing in globally. Right, so I kind of hope they get nominated, and they're already nominated, but they already shortlisted for it, and they're supposed to receive the results back. So I told them, even if you don't receive anything, even if you don't get global recognition, it doesn't undermine anything what you're doing. These trophies and appreciations and everything, they're good to have, but it does. Your work is tremendous. It doesn't change a thing. I mean, it doesn't decrease your honor and doesn't increase your honor. You're just great at what you're doing right now. So that was very good. Like, I kind of wish that I was discussing with Eric. I was like, why isn't this person the Ministry of Education?
Yeah,
It's like, what's he doing here? So,
Exactly.
But I guess like people who are passionate and people who are, they have so much love and dedication for the work that they're doing. They never really look for limelight. They never are about positions. They just want to work. So these are the real gems, and these are the people that we look for. These are the real unsung heroes of the society. Yeah.
You would never expect to find people like that working like when you always would think that something that drives a lot of people, because it does, is money.
Yeah.
So seeing that this actually it's a place that the mindset that they have, even though they're a public school, as they say in that school, it's like a private school mindset. So
they're like,
it is.
and then I love that mentality. Is like, why should you feel inferior just because of the money, right? So they're not money-driven people. The staff is not money-driven. They're not. Salaries don't increase if they get 1-star recognition. It's still the same. It's not like people are going to give them more donation. Nothing happens in terms of monetary value, right? Or as far as I know, but they're just in it for the sake of education, right? And the same principal, same teachers, they could be in a private setting, and then I'm sure the salary, would change the amount of experience and expertise that they have, but they're still there, and they've been there. I asked them this question. I was like, I want to know what's driving all of you. Like, why are you here every day? Why is that was the Monday school that we visited. I was like, it's Monday. Why are you all here? Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So they shared, and a lot of them one common thread, and all of them, what they were saying is like, it's the same, giving back to the community, right? You don't find many people that will actually, they're willing to give back to the community and helping the country get that global recognition, right? For me, because I come from the same mindset, so for me that's a star. Like that's where I want to be with regards to the effort, and that's the type of effort that I want to make, right? So the challenges are not much. We haven't come across any challenges except the language, and that's our fault. That's our flaw. It's not flaw of the country. So we haven't come across any challenge.
The food?
The food was a little bit of a challenge. Look, we're originally Pakistani, so we eat a lot of spices, we eat a lot of food, and because we're Muslim, so we have a very special meat diet. And then at UBC, they're really worried about us, because we're not vegetarians, I'm not vegan, so they're like, how are you gonna survive? Like, what's your plan A, plan B? I said, we're not canceling the trip because of that. We're still going. We'll figure it out when we get there. And then, to our surprise, first, as soon as we landed here Saturday evening. We stayed. Then the next morning, we're hungry hippos. We're looking around for some protein, meat protein. And then some guy was jogging outside. He's like, hey, he gave a greeting in Islamic greeting. We're like, hey, come back here. So we interacted with him, and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And he thought that we're here as international students, and we're going to be here for long. Was trying to invite us for dinner. I was like, listen, we just met you. We're not going to your place for dinner just yet. Right? And that's because of the perception that we have. I was like, okay. And he's like, okay, what do you need? I was like, whoa, we need contact. We need food. And we want to eat some halal food here. I want to try halal Mexican stuff. And he said, I got you, no problem. Here's the person. This guy runs a ghost kitchen, and he'll make you whatever you want to make. So literally, we've been telling Pakistani, Mexican, Arabian cuisines, and the guy makes it, and he delivers it to us, and his food is cheaper than what we pay in a restaurant. Wow. So we saved money, and we got great food. And then this person is like, even today he just delivered our food, and we get home delivery, and he doesn't charge us delivery fees. He just delivers. And then we were trying to save money on the delivery. We're like, okay, we'll place an order for entire week, and then you can just give that to us on Monday. He's like, no, I'll give you 2 deliveries, sometimes 3 deliveries. This week is 3 deliveries. He's like, so you can have fresh food. So we've been having fresh food, homemade food, and this is the best. This is more than what we get back home.
You're like, I'm taking this guy home.
Yeah. If someone says to us, like, how was your food experience? I'm like, it was awesome. All right, it was good food. Yeah. We got the best of the both worlds.
Yeah, we actually thought about that. We're like, we're gonna take this guy back. We're gonna open a restaurant with him. His food is better than anything there.
So yeah, the food hasn't disappointed us.
That's nice. I'm glad.
We have our guy.
Your contact. That's it's impressive, honestly.
Yeah. So this was good. This is the first Sunday contact. And he's like, whatever you need. So he's making us desserts. He's been making us all sort of stuff. It's awesome.
Would you say, I have heard that in Arabic, you say inshallah,
yeah.
This was inshallah.
This was alhamdulillah. This was all praise belongs to the God. This was one of those moments. And we were happy ever since. We were good. Otherwise, we were gonna live on tuna.
It took us a few days after that to place the order with him and to get it. I think it was Thursday, the following Thursday, we got the first order, and up until then we didn't realize we were so cranky and everything. And then after we ate that, we were like, whoa, okay.
We were all nice to each other.
This is a good day.
And we all have it together. Our colleagues, Aideen and Zainab, we all eat together. I don't like eating alone, so I'm more of and we eat downstairs in the lobby, and everybody can, whoever's walking by, we call them. It's like, hey, come, and they bring their food, and then we share food with each other. So anyone that's walking by is like, come sit. Sometimes they don't want to sit, but they're too polite to say no, and we kind of force them to sit. So then we're almost having a family dinner every night.
That's so nice. Yeah. I want to translate really quickly,
sure.
Okay?
Good luck, yeah.
I know. Pues ahorita estuvimos hablando un poco de los desafíos que han tenido acá, y dice que pues realmente un desafío que fue complicado fue la barrera del idioma, que cada uno de ellos alrededor sabe de 5 idiomas, pero pues que no sabían español. Pero por suerte tienen una compañera que habla español y eso les ha ayudado a poderse comunicar. Pero pues dicen que es algo que se van a llevar de tarea ahora, aprender español de regreso en Canadá. Y pues algo que les preguntan también era si la comida, porque como son musulmanes, tienen una dieta, what it's called, the diet, it's called halal.
Yeah, halal.
Una dieta halal, donde para los que no saben, como esta dieta es, tiene que ser el animal matado de una manera, como en el nombre de Dios, espiritual, y pues no es complicado encontrar comida acá. De hecho, en la oficina de programas internacionales realmente no sabíamos qué recomendarles porque pues no teníamos conocimiento de esto. Pero para su suerte, un día recién llegando, era una persona corriendo que lo saludó en árabe y le dijeron, hey, ¿qué onda? A ver, regrésate, cuéntanos dónde eres. Y pues ellos hablando, pues tuvieron esta información de una persona que hace comida de todas las regiones del mundo y se las lleva a sus casas de manera gratuita con carne halal. Entonces dicen que han comido delicioso, que inclusive mejor que en Canadá y que se quieren hasta llevar a la persona allá a Canadá porque, o sea, que la comida que hace es buenísima. Y pues continuamos, pasamos con la siguiente sección de impacto positivo.
Impacto positivo. Resultados de una experiencia académica. Positive impact.
Well, I think now it's time to talk about the positive. Even though you have said a lot of positive things in the challenges, what would you say it's the positive that you can take from this experience?
Honestly, our experience, like we're genuine in our giving our feedback. We don't beat around the bush too much, and we've only had positive experiences here. We haven't had a single negative experience, except one time. It's not really a negative experience. So I woke up. You know how we do morning, we do visits to the schools, and then we have like a 1.5 hour break. I was really tired, so I took a short nap before teaching the students at 3 o'clock. So I was running, and then I was getting late for class. I would like to be there 5-10 minutes before the students arrive. So 2:50ish, the guard stopped me. It's like it was a new guard, and they're like, "Okay, tap your card." I was like, "The card doesn't work. Like, let me in, hurry up." And then she's like, "You have to tap the card." I was like, "Okay, where's my card?" So I'm going through my bag and I tap it. I was like, "It doesn't work." She's like, "Try the second one, try the third one." I was like, "It doesn't work. We're a guest here." So cards are not chipped yet. So I said, "We won't be able to tap them on her." And then she gave me a look and I gave her a look, and then we went. And I came back and I apologized. I was like, "I just woke up and I was cranky." And then I apologized. She's like, No. I got our leader, Aideen, to take her. I was like, "Come, listen, I need you." And then ever since then, the guard sees me and she just opens the door before I even come. So that's the only experience that I had. I was like, it's not negative. It turned into a positive experience. But apart from that, we even like Uber people at the shops. I went to the barber shop. Like we have a great experience. And we're not sugarcoating.
Yeah, we're not. We're not.
We're not sugarcoating. Like we didn't think. Like we have been to Cancun before, right? Yeah, just on the record. Not that my wife should know, but we've been to Cancun before, but that's like a pure tourist environment. You don't interact. You're not really meeting people outside the resort, right? So It's just like there's just a bunch of foreigners trapped in one place in front of the beach. And that's about it. But this was our, at Taha's, I believe this is the third time in Mexico. This will be my second time in Mexico. But this experience is very different, very positive.
But first time in Monterrey, right?
Yes, this is first time in Monterrey. We didn't know uni like this existed here. So this kind of changes a lot of stuff for us. We have team. That's waiting for us anxiously to get back and kind of brief them about our experience and tell them that what we can take and how we can establish our connections here, and then how we can have those sister organizations that can work with us and then help establish a school there. Yeah. So this has been a very positive experience. I think you're more interested in our stories than the listeners at this point. You're like I'll translate everything later. Let me listen to these guys first, because we haven't been able to sit. You've been busy, and then we've been busy. Going around different places. So we had a good, tremendous amount of experience today. The last dinner will tell.
Bueno, pues les doy un pequeño resumen de lo que hemos estado hablando. Nos comentaban de las cosas positivas. Se dicen que realmente son unas personas que son muy directas y que se le dice sugarcoat como al no andan diciendo cosas que realmente no creen. Entonces sí se las hace que México realmente no ha tenido una mala experiencia. O sea, Sherry ya contaba que lo más malo que tuvo aquí fue un día que no podía entrar, que ya se le estaba haciendo tarde porque se acababa de levantar, estaba un poco malhumorado y quería entrar y no servía su tarjeta. Y pues en el momento en que le dijo al guardia y tratando de entrar, le decía, no, pues ponla acá, y no entraba. Y después dice que se sintió mal porque pues sintió que como que le gritó y por el momento que decía que estaba mal humor. Pero luego pues fue con Aiden a traerla para que fuera su traductora. Y pues ya dice que ahora la guardia siempre le abre antes de llegar porque ya ahora ya se conocen y ya se llevan muy bien después de esa experiencia. Entonces realmente México ha sido algo muy bueno para ellos, se llevan muchas cosas positivas, realmente no pueden decir algo así que negativo, realmente toda la experiencia ha sido muy enriquecedora, todos los contactos que tienen, que han hecho, esto pues es algo que es un parteaguas para crear algo en su comunidad y en Canadá para positivo, que puedan lograr pues esa meta que tienen de establecer una preparatoria, una escuela realmente de diferentes niveles donde más personas tengan acceso a este tipo de educación. Y pues ya ahora sí que vamos al resumen y cierre. Y recuerden, para los que no tuvieron oportunidad de escucharnos antes o apenas nos están sintonizando, este programa se está grabando y lo pueden encontrar en el canal de YouTube, o también pueden encontrar los links de los diferentes programas que hemos tenido con diferentes invitados de todos lados del mundo. Ya tenemos alrededor de unos 30, creo que este ya sería el programa 34, si no me equivoco, pero ya son algunos programas tenemos alumnos de Suiza, Suecia, Dinamarca, pues como ahorita Canadá, que nos cuentan sus perspectivas de todo el mundo. Y algo bonito que creo que retomar es que pues la calidad mexicana es lo que se llevan muchos. Así que pues nos vamos a el resumen y cierre.
Resumen. Summary.
Well, I would hope that we had more time to keep talking about your experience, because I think it's super interesting and I think we could have continued for hours. But
Yes,
unfortunately, it's just an hour long, the show.
yeah. And
We're still on Sunday.
I know.
I'm very glad we did this now as opposed to last week. I think we got a better experience. Because that was only halfway through the whole experience.
Exactly.
We got to see so much more between then and now, and it's just added so much more to our experience.
Yeah, it added a lot of value to our experience.
Yeah,
especially the last couple of days, because we're dealing with head admins, we're dealing with the Ministry of Education, we're dealing with special education, we're dealing with the training staff, we're dealing with the secretaries, and we're dealing with everyone. And this, if you had called us a bit, earlier on, I think we wouldn't be able to share all of that experience that we have. And I hope the listeners can benefit from what we're sharing.
Of course.
And we're benefiting for really articulating what we have learned. So, when they say that if you say, if you practice what you preach, it's like, we're practicing that right now. So it'll be able to stay with us. It's going to stay with us for the rest of our lives. That's for sure. Did you have a question? I'm not like
well,
no,
of course, no, that's great. Yeah. I mean, generally, what this moment of the show is telling a word that would wrap up your experience, that you would say it will condense.
I would say unexpected.
Yeah.
Like how perfect it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing, like I'm not, it's not advice, right, for all the Mexicans, but it's like it's like I understand the importance of learning international languages. I understand the importance of understanding international cultures, but do not lose your own culture and language in the process. Like, hold on to that and be proud of who you are, and represent your people, your country, wherever you go in the world. And then be proud, right? No culture is inferior than any other culture. All the cultures are equal. All humans are equal. So no one has any superiority over another. and that's the mindset that we walk around with, and we were able to display our culture and belief, and we lived it in experience in Mexico. So perhaps, like, especially the new generation, they should consider, right? You are the ambassadors of your culture, right? Don't be shy to express your culture. Don't be shy to be who you are. I think we don't need to, walk around with ethnocentric mentality. We need to walk around with and be proud of who we are as human beings and where we belong. And all countries are equal. All countries are the same in terms of ethnic background. So we should be proud. I don't think the Mexicans should ever let go of their culture for another culture. And not that you are, but yes, learning English is important, but holding on to your own language, making sure that you know your mother tongue is also important, and mastering the art of your language, like mastering your own language before you master any other language. I think that's really, really important. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have different opinions, but this is my conclusion of the show.
I want to wrap it up really quickly in Spanish.
Yeah.
Pues lo que decía Taja era que pues algo inesperado, que es la palabra que se lleva del programa, que fue, o sea, que de la experiencia en general. Y pues Sherry ya contaba un poquito de que en el proceso de aprender nuevos idiomas y pues esta globalización, que no perdamos nuestra cultura, los mexicanos, que nos aferremos a lo bonito de nuestro idioma, lo bonito de nuestra cultura, y que seamos orgullosos a donde quiera que vayamos de esto y que lo expresemos, que eso es importante mantener y hay que estar orgullosos de lo que tenemos porque es muy valioso. And if you had to say one word, what would it be?
Muchas gracias.
No, but but for your experience, like if you had to just speak one word.
Tremendous.
Tremendous?
Tremendous. Yeah.
Y Shariar dice que pues tremendo. Yo diría que tremendo. O sea, realmente fue esta experiencia. Well, once again, thank you so much for being in the program.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you for having us.
Everything you've done for us. It's much appreciated. And hopefully you guys will stay in touch with us.
Of course. Yes, for sure.
We will be messaging you, and you're busy people. Hopefully we can maintain that contact.
And how would you say goodbye in your mother tongue? Or
which language do you want us to
exactly,
say?
I would say because it would be English since you're from Canada, but also you have from your parents the Pakistani background. So
So I'll say in Urdu. Khudafiz.
Khudafiz?
Yes, Khudafiz.
Urdu.
Yeah, it's in Urdu.
Urdu.
Yeah, people who understand Urdu, they'll know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
May God be with you. This is what they call.
Okay.
So it's actually driven from Persian and Urdu at the same time. So
that's nice.
A mix of Urdu it's a child of Arabic and Persian language coming together.
Wow.
So it draws a lot of it has a lot of roots in Arabic and Persian language. So yeah,
Khudafiz. Will you say the same?
I'll say the one that's in Arabic, and though it's in Arabic, it's not specific to Arabic language speakers. It's a greeting used as Muslims regardless of what language you speak. So when you meet someone or when you depart, you say Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be upon you. Right? And that's just
so
used
nice.
for meeting someone or for parting with someone.
So salam
Alaikum
and Khudafiz.
Khudafiz.
Salam alaikum. So let's say it together, like.
Adios, amigos. You gotta add that too.
Bueno, hasta la próxima.
Hasta aquí Global Connection. Te esperamos en nuestra siguiente emisión, el miércoles a las 11 de la mañana, solo en Tech Sounds Radio 94.9 FM.